Hey, Pete here for RC Car Action and Boost, and as you can see, I've got a big pile of Tamiya on the bench today. These are all three versions of the Toyota Gazoo Racing TS050 Hybrid Endurance Racer, which Tamiya offers in 132 scale as a mini four-wheel drive, 124th scale as a static model, and in 1/10th scale for radio control on the F103 chassis. And these are all complete assembly kits. You're going to build and paint these and decal them yourself, not ready to runs. For this video, we're going to debox them. We'll come back in follow-up videos and show you what they look like all assembled. But right now, let's just get to the kits and we'll take a look at what's inside. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started with the 132 scale vehicle. This is a mini four-wheel drive. If you're not familiar with that, these are AA powered free-running cars that run on a fenced track. That's why they've got these funky little rollers on the side here. That's so that they can run along the walls of the track. And you just set these down and they go. And the object is to build the car as efficiently as you can and try to turn as many laps as you can in a given time. And there's no driver input. They're just free running, which is kind of like a powered Pinewood Derby. And these are huge in Japan, extremely popular form of model racing hobby. And of course, there's guys who do it here in the States as well. But in Japan, they're really crazy for these cars. And they're a lot of fun just to snap together, and you can just let them run free, you know, down the hallway as well. But they're pretty cool little models, and since it's Tamiya, they're built as well as anything else Tamiya makes. Tamiya really doesn't do anything inexpensively or cheaply. No matter what you're looking at, if it says Tamiya on it, it's going to be a really high quality product. So let's take a look in here. Mini four-wheel drives typically have hard bodies, but this is a exception. There are some that have Lexian bodies, and this is one of them. The proportions are a little cartoonish, which is typical for many four-wheel drive models, but it is as precisely molded as anything else you'll find from Tamiya. And you can see that they trim these wheel wells for you, or at least trim the part that's hard to trim, which is the rounded arch. You've got to clip out the bottom. And this looks a little flat because it's got overspray film on it. But of course, the parts are beautiful, an excellent little body. You can see by my hands, you know, it's quite small compared to radio control. It's about slot car sized if you're into 132 scale slots anyways. And a very nice little body that someone else will paint and decal for me. I'm going to pass that job off. These are your wheels, obviously. You've got rubber tires. These copper contacts will snap into the chassis and connect to the motor. There's no soldering or wiring involved. And you've got your gears there. There's your motor and shafts. Some extra parts here. Not sure quite how those fit, but that's what the manual is for. This is the MA chassis. All the components will snap in from this side. You can see where the ring gears will go. Motor in the center, and a single AA on each side of the chassis. And again, no hardware involved. These are all snapped together. And there's the remainder of your chassis parts. You've got your rollers for the sides there. Got a couple of fins or winglets or something there. We'll see what the manual says. Instructions for the body. Here's all your decals. These are die cut. You will almost certainly spend more time detailing the car than you will snapping it together. So there actually are some screws in this one because it's got the rollers, which do take a screw. But usually mini four-wheel drives are 100% snap. But all the rest of it, as you can see, is just snap together stuff. You can see the motor has got a a pinion gear on each end to interface directly with those ring gears. So this will be a fun one to snap together, and I'm sure it's going to look great once it's all painted up. 132 scale mini 4-wheel drive. Let's check out the static plastic model next. This is another one that's going to go to my buddy Philip. He is a ace plastic modeler. I am a terrible plastic modeler, and he's done quite a few Tamiya kits as well as many other brands. And I asked him, if a Tamiya is a 10, what would you say, a Revel or a Monogram or another, more of a mass market kind of model would be? And I thought he'd say maybe a 6 or a 7, and he said it's more like a 1 or a 2. That's how much farther ahead Tamiya is in static modeling quality and detail compared to something you'd buy, for a lot less money at, like a Hobby Lobby or something. So this is really superior stuff, which I knew, but I didn't really realize how much more or how much better Tamiya plastic models were. So that's good to know. And that's why they cost more. You pay more, but you certainly get more. So this is 1/24 scale, which is pretty standard for static models. And I'm not sure it will read on video, but just, straight out of the box, the first tree I pick up, you can really see some lustrous chrome and, crystal clear windows there. Already I feel like this is a better kit than anything I ever opened up when I was a kid. Here's our tires. Open this up. And Tamiya, they're just the mold masters. And these parts are beautiful. I'm sure these will get painted, but I'll bet you could just leave these white because that gloss is really nice. You can see the detailing there for the headlights. This nice clear lens that goes over that. Beautiful. There's the rest of your white parts. And Tamiya stuff fits very, very precisely. There's not a lot of, kind of gap filling involved on these, from what I understand. Suspension parts, you can see the really fine detailing here. Just gorgeous stuff. Kind of a lower parts count than I anticipated. Here's your chassis. Masking, decals, and these are water slides, I would imagine. Decaling guide. And here are your instructions. So I'm sure my man Philip will do a great job on this because I would not. We got some Tamiya tech tips here. Good to know. And now we can move on to the 1/10 scale radio control car version. All right, this is on the F103 chassis, or F103 GT to be more precise. Get some of that glare off of there. So this is basically an F1 car, but with a full body. That means you're looking at a sprung front end with floating kingpins, and in the back you're going to have a floating motor pod. And this is the most efficient way to build an RC car. So you can put pretty much anything in this for a power system, and it will be quite fast. Even the Mabuchi, motor will make this zip along pretty nicely. And I've not done an F1 car, and it's got to be over a decade. F1 used to be really huge, and there are certainly still plenty of guys who race it. I would love to do more stuff with F1 cars, and that's a big reason why I'm looking forward to getting this one together, because they are fun platforms to run and to build. Let's get into that box. Very nice wheels, and these are the same, front and rear. Not quite black, they're actually a little bit gray, which I'm sure is accurate for the car because that's how Tamiya rolls, no pun intended. In this bag of stuff, we've got a magnetic motor, obviously. Good old Mabuchi 540. This will be our rear axle, which is steel, given the way it was attracted to that motor. Shafts. More hardware. Differential parts. Bracket for the rear suspension. Bearings, diff rings and diff balls. Hardware and body clips. Servo saver parts. Looks like battery tray pieces. Diff gear. Or spur gear, I should say. Here's the body. No surprise that that looks great. Tamiya never fails to get it right in the body department. Get everything in place, beautifully shaped and molded. Did not trim the wheel wells though. It's always nice when they die cut that, like they did in that Mini 4-wheel drive that we were looking at a few minutes ago. Makes things a lot easier. So wish they had done that this time, but you know what? This is a project for my man Philip again at Hobbytown, at least for getting the body painted. I'm going to build the chassis though, because that's the fun part that I get to do. Back in the box, we've got rear pod parts. You see you've got these oblong holes that will let you adjust the height of the axle. Battery tray. Shock parts. Strip inserts for the foam tires, or foam inserts for the rubber tires, I should say. And these are the strip style that you have to glue together. Haven't seen this type in a while. That's how it used to always be for touring cars. You'd get strips instead of donuts. And these are slicks, as you can see, no tread on there. Very soft and flexible. You should definitely make some good grip on pavement, concrete, carpet. Got a transponder mount in there, our body clips, or body posts rather. And these have got pivoting pads to hold the body up. More body components. Not sure if that's an under tray. And here are our headlight lenses. Front suspension components. This is a wishbone style front end. This will be the bottom part, which will stay fixed, and these upper arms will pivot to let the steering blocks go up and down on springs. And here are the chassis parts. And these are fiberglass, or FRP as Tamiya calls it. So there's our main chassis. Here's the T-plate for the motor pod. Upper deck. And this is for the damper that goes on the rear pod. Plenty of decals, and we've got window masks. And again, painting and decaling the body will definitely take as long or significantly longer than building the kit. And of course, we get very nice manuals because Tamiya. I haven't built a pan style car in forever, so this will be a lot of fun. Very nice. As always, excellent stuff from Tamiya. 3 different ways to put together a Toyota Gazoo Racing TS050 hybrid. As always, great stuff from Tamiya, and we will come back in follow-up videos to show you what these guys look like all together. Thanks for watching.